What's up, everybody? Welcome back. If you are watching for the first time, thank you and welcome. The purpose of this channel, if you're watching for the first time, is everything positive. So everything motivational, spiritual. I just want to impart motivation on whoever watches these videos, and hopefully the content that I bring forward to you, again, you find beneficial. One of my goals for 2025 and beyond is to get back into reading more, and more specifically, motivational type books, self-help books. I did a lot of it when I first started my businesses, but I really want to make that a part of my everyday life, because if you're not growing, you're not succeeding, you're not bettering yourself. So for me, getting back into the books that I have a whole ton of them that I need to kind of get through. As I go through them, I'm going to, of course, go over each chapter and impart on you what I've learned, what I got from it. And if you want to comment and interact in the comments, you can do that. That would be super awesome. So the first book that I chose to read and that I've been going over is The Power of One More by Ed Mylett, up to chapter 4. So if you do want to watch the first 3 chapters, you can go back and do that, or watch this, then go back. I mean, it's just principles of one more, the power of one more. So there's really no sequential order, really. No, that chapter 1, chapter 2, chapter 3, chapter 4. However, they all are kind of standalone, right? So do as you please. So anyway, chapter 4 is where we're at. And chapter 4 is entitled The Power of One More, and the 5 principles of time management. And I know many people that struggle with this. I am one of those people. I've been better than I used to be, but I know I can be better at it. And the majority of people that I've met, that I've talked to, also really struggle with this part of life. Not just business, not just, health and wellness goal, but time management in life. If you have kids and businesses and work, and you want to be healthier and work out, and you try to cram everything in, and you lose track of time so often. So this is an area that is super important, especially if your goal is super important to you. You want to be able to get everything that you need to get done in a day. And try to stay on track with the things that you're trying to accomplish. So let's get into the 5 principles that he talks about. Ed Mylett is the author. I'm not sure if I said that, but Ed Mylett is the author of the book. And the very first one was add more time to your day. Now that sounds weird because we always hear the saying, we all have 24 hours in a day. No one has more. No one has less, unless the unfortunate, but everyone gets 24 hours in a day. That's a day, right? 60 minutes in an hour, 60 seconds in a minute, like that's concrete. That's what it is, right? So when I started to read it and I saw add more time to your day, I was like, I wonder what he means by that. So what he means is actually pretty simple when he breaks it down. Is he takes his 24-hour period, right, the entire day, and he breaks them down into mini days, right? So from, let's say you get up at 4 a.m. to work out. I'm a 4 a.m., 5 a.m. morning workout person. So his day starts at 6, and he does from 6 to noon is one day where he does whatever it is he needs to do within that time frame. So if 6 to 12 is going to be him working out, prepping his meals, and starting his calls. Let's just say your business revolves around making phone calls. 6 to 12, he'll do that. And then 12 to 6, it's something else that he needs to do. So obviously knowing what you need to do, everyone's day is different. But 12 to 6, now this is his example, not everybody's. This does not have to be yours. Everyone's time is different. Everyone's day is different. Everyone's tasks are different. But 12 to 6, he does whatever he does from 12 to 6. And then he says 6 to midnight, he does what he does from 6 to midnight, which is essentially an entire day, right? Before you go to bed. So he breaks his day up into 3 days, like 3 days or 3 sets of things that he does 3 different times of the day. 6 to 12, 12 to 6, 6 to midnight. So whatever your day looks like, whatever your tasks are for the day, break them up into multiple parts of the day and just focus on the parts that you're doing from 6 to 12. This is what I'm doing. If it's due at 3 o'clock, don't worry about it. Worry about what you're doing from 6 to 12. And then from 12 to 6, the stuff that was due at 3 is now in that time frame, that window, 12 to 6. And then, of course, 6 to midnight, same thing. Pretty interesting concept. It does make sense. You're giving yourself, it seems like you're giving yourself more time in the day. You're really not. But you're breaking it into chunks and you're just getting the stuff done that needs to be done in those 3 parts of the day. Pretty interesting. I like that. Approach time with a greater sense of urgency. So if it's important to you, it's important, right? If the business, the health routine, the spirituality, the mental health, whatever it is that you're trying to achieve in 2025, and I'm hoping and beyond, approach the time you put into it and the way you break up your day, approach it with urgency, right? Because if it's not important, you'll put it off, right? You'll wait till tomorrow or a week from now. I'll make that call in 4 days, right? Or I'll go to the gym in a couple of days, right? So if it's important enough to you, the time management of it and how you approach your days should be approached with urgency. I think that's kind of self-explanatory. Again, if you have a business, if you're trying to be healthier, if you're at a job where it's demanding on time, like if it's not important to you, you're not going to do it with urgency. And you should be doing it with urgency, especially your time, because time is not something you get back, right? So approach your day, your time with urgency. The next one is one I talk about a lot. Learn how to control the time. Don't let the time control you. Because if you don't have a plan in place for the next day, the day is going to overtake you. And you're not going to get anything done that you want to get done, right? Yes, there are surprises. Things happen we were not expecting. You just have to kind of deal with it as it comes. But if your day is pretty routine for the most part, and what you have to do, you know what you have to do, run your day and get the things done you need to get done. Don't let the day run you. So an example for myself is I did the 75 Hard program twice. And what I found helpful was, number one, because reading is part of it, knowing what book I was going to read, having that ready, knowing when I was going to read it. So usually for me, I'm a morning person. I get up, I have my energy tea, I get my book, and I read the first 10 pages. My day starts off that way. But I knew I had to plan when my workouts were going to be. There was 2 of them. When am I going to take my progress photo? Like having it in my mind for the next day, how that day is going to look so I can complete this program, so I can be successful in doing so. So if you have tasks that need to be completed, think of it in advance and plan your day out beforehand so it does not overtake you. Number 4 was measure your performance. This is no matter business, fitness, no matter what it is. If you have a goal and you're trying to achieve something, you should be measuring your performance and where you're at least every week, every month. He says there's a CEO somewhere that does it every hour. A little extreme, but depending on what you're trying to do and what your business model is and your approach is, you should always be measuring your performance of where you're at with your time each day. Does your time management look good? Like, where are you with your goals, your sales goals, whatever it is something you should be doing weekly, monthly at least, or as often as you feel fits your schedule to measure. And the last one is focus on the future. So we all heard those saying, don't live in the past. It is so true. The past is what I call a future killer. If you can't forget the past and what's happened to you and the negative and the bad and all that stuff, you're not going to be able to run your day. You're not going to have any time management. You're not going to have any urgency, no initiative, no nothing, because you're so stuck in what happened a year ago, 6 months ago, 2 days ago, 10 years ago. It's so ingrained in you that you just cannot move on. It will absolutely kill your goals. It will absolutely kill your future, because you need to live in the present and figure out what you need to do in the present to achieve your goals in the future. Yes, learn from the past, get through it, work through it. Can't change it, unfortunately. A lot of us wish we could. Can't change the past. It happened. Let it go, work through it, and then get back into the present and work on your future. So time management is very important. It's something we all need to work on, myself included. And it's just, for me, the most important thing is knowing what my plan is for the next day. At the very least, knowing what I'm going to do, when I'm going to do it the next day. Schedule ahead as much as you can, because then when you get up, you've got a plan in place. Instead of just getting up and going home, what call should I make today? When should I read that book? When should I go work out? Like, my day is planned out at least the day before, and then I wake up and I'm off and running and ready to go. So time management, super important. Hopefully this helped you guys. It certainly helped me. We can all use a little refresher or a little help getting back on track when it comes to time management. So chapter 4 in the books, no pun intended, and then we'll be reading chapter 5, and I'll be going over that as well. This book is really good so far. I'm hoping you're enjoying it. If you're reading it, or if you're just watching the content, hopefully you're getting something out of it. So I will see y'all for the next chapter. Have a great rest of your day, and I will see y'all soon. Take care.